BARR stands for Building Assets, Reducing Risks. The crux of it is built on relationships and data points. So making sure we discuss every student in the building, not just the ones that are, the frequent flyers or the ones that are failing or the ones that aren't coming to school.
The BARR approach creates small schools within larger schools to make sure that every student is well known by the educators and by the professionals and staff members who are working. It also provides structure for certain meetings that educators and specialists are able to have, where they look at the experience of every single child in a variety of ways, in their academic and their behavioral and their engagement and all of these other metrics.
What it does is it gives us several layers to make sure that every student has a safety net, no matter if they're doing really well in school or really well socially. They still need to know that there's an adult or adults in the school that have their back.
The idea is building on those relationships. You'll learn about the student. All of that reduces their risk for chronic absenteeism, failing. We see more school engagement from students.
We invested a good deal of our emergency funds. We put it out there in the spring, and we said, hey, would any school like to maybe engage in some relationship building and asset development curricula as well? And we thought we might get 2 or 3 or 4 schools would be interested, and we had 71 sign up.
When the state said, hey, we have funding for BARR, I jumped at the opportunity. And so I talked to staff, and what I tried to emphasize was, for us, it's not a huge structural lift. It's adding some systems in place to what we already do to help support students.
There's a lot of joy that some of the BARR activities bring to students. It allows me as a math teacher to see my students in a different light.
And it's really just a thing where you can connect to your classmates.
We have BARR meetings within our team, and at least once a week, if not more often than that.
BARR really gives us that time in our block meetings to discuss every student.
And it's nice too with having the administrators and the counselors at the meetings as well, because if we need to provide more support for a particular student, we're able to do that with them right there in the team meeting.
In terms of the interventions, they're pretty specific to each student. I would say that it just really depends on what the student needs. Some of the things we've tried, we've done home visits, whether it's myself, social worker, guidance counselors, SRO, will go out to the home and visit with families and students and see what's going on, how can we support you, and this is all coming from an angle of how can we help. Sometimes just having that simple conversation with a family, you get the bigger picture.
If your grades are struggling, they can talk to you, or sometimes if you do something, I don't know, you go to the principal's office or something, they don't just tell you not to do it. I don't know, they kind of find a way to stop you from doing it before it happens.
Sometimes if a kid's down or if I'm really sad, then they'll come and talk to us.
Typically what we see with BARR, the progress continues to go upward once we have interventions in place. And it's good to see what interventions have been done and have worked in the past and what we can do differently.
Educators who work in a BARR school are more likely than their peers in other types of schools to say that they will be in that job 5 years from now, and they are more likely to say, I have what I need to do the work I really want to do as an educator.
When you have that open communication that's consistent, it helps people feel valued, helps people feel appreciated, which then I think helps lead to better job satisfaction.
It's such a team building time for staff. Starting something new is always scary, but BARR is a great asset to any school.
What I'm proud of when it comes to our investments is that we focus relentlessly on investments that would be sustainable, that would make a permanent difference